A very good afternoon to you tuned in to UBC TV. Welcome to our Lunchtime News this Monday, the 5th of May, 2023. It's me, Micheal Lukomwa. In our first story this afternoon, Ministry of Health is concerned about the high prevalence rates of non-communicable diseases in the country. The ministry has calls for urgent attention to address the challenges through raising awareness and advocacy within the public. The ministry, through its non-communicable disease department, are now convening at Entebbe for a 4 days period to brainstorm and identify priorities, as well as discuss ways of harnessing partnerships to stop the fast rising NCDs in Uganda.
Very big problem in this country. And when we look at the available evidence, about over 56% of conditions, the NCDs that we have in this country is related to conditions other than diabetes mellitus, which is one of the commonest NCDs, cardiovascular diseases. These are diseases that affect the heart and the blood vessels. For example, we have heart failure, we have stroke, which is very commonly known. We have heart diseases among that category. The major risk factors to NCDs, one is aging. As you grow older, the risk of developing NCDs also increases. Then we have harmful use of use of tobacco and tobacco-related products. Well, we know in this country people tend to consume a lot of tobacco, marijuana, and so on and so forth. So these predispose to a number of conditions like lung cancer, chronic respiratory diseases, among others. We therefore call upon all the different actors, the ministries, departments, the agencies, institutions, the cultural leaders, religious leaders, everybody to be involved, to work with us in order to prevent NCDs. We can do this if we raise the level of awareness, because generally there is very low level of awareness of NCDs. People need to know that, well, this NCDs is actually real.
For us, other diseases, you can hear that they have a national control program, even have a commission. But if you see the people dying of NCDs, there are more people who die of NCDs than HIV, for example. But the resources that are in HIV, that are in TB, that are in malaria are much more. Another thing that we want to talk about is agriculture, for example. How does it come in? Ministry of Education and Sports. What is the physical activity plan for Ministry of Education and Sports? How do we intend to put the public health messages in the curriculum of primary schools?
UBC Lunchtime News. Farmers have raised an alarm on an advert that ran in the Daily Monitor publication indicating the sale of the Farmer's House at Plot 27, Nakasero Road. The Farmer's House is home for the Uganda National Farmers Federation, and reports indicate that the Federation in 2019 September acquired a loan of 700 million shillings from Equity Bank to finance the construction of a perimeter wall around the Ginger Showgrounds.
To cause your awareness that our home, the home of the farmers, based at Nakasero, the offices of the Uganda National Farmers Federation, is due for sale by public auction if the Federation does not pay the money we owe to Equity Bank. The most shocking thing is that the situation went to the extent of culminating into an advert for sale in the Monitor newspaper of 25th May this year without any information from the leadership of the organization.
The honorable appeal is to call upon fellow farmers, more so the chairperson is, in all corners of Uganda, to stand firm and save our property.
The bank people had partners with UNIFE to jointly make the collections so that in the effort to pay back the loans. So far, already 2 shows have been organized, but we were wondering why no payment was done no payment was remitted to the bank in order to cover up this loan.
UBC Lunchtime News. Now, a society is recognized by its values and norms, and these ensure continuity through rebirth and replacement of departing elders. But these values and norms must promote harmonious coexistence of all the members of the society. Of recent, some of these norms have become obsolete because they suppress human rights. As Mutonyi Hilda reports, various societal norms like wife sharing, burial and widow inheritance are believed to be the underlying cause for gender-based violence in communities.
Social order is defined by values and norms therein that play a crucial role in ensuring peaceful coexistence and generational endurance. Unfortunately, certain norms that have been passed on through generations have become outdated and now infringe on enjoyment of human rights. Among the Karamojong, Teso, and parts of Western Uganda, birth, child nurturing, wife sharing, death, burial, and widow inheritance is accepted as the norm. Some of the traditional beliefs and customs create unequal relationships, leading to gender-based violence, primarily perpetrated by men on women and children, who unfortunately often become victims of these power dynamics.
Cultural factors that fuel violence against children, violence against wives, violence against husbands. By the way, now in Eastern Uganda, there's a lot of violence against men. Although, as men, when it happens, we don't want to say, Njakuswala.
In a world where tradition and progress collide, where the past meets the present, and where the fight for equality rages, we uncover the realities of gender-based violence and cultural norms. According to customary laws, a woman does not inherit property from parents or after the demise of her husband.
Here in Uganda and Busoga, where I come from, the girls cannot be the heirs to their father. And even when they are giving out property, because you're a Uganda woman, you can decide to marry Nachori, and off you go. So if you be sange, and that perpetuates the unequal relationship. That whereas I was born with you, the same father, I have the right to inherit property. You don't have a right to inherit property.
However, in the case of Lodelle Martha, she was inspired by the struggles faced by other widowed women, showed immense bravery rather than yielding to similar challenges. She defiantly stood her ground, surpassing societal expectations.
Because whenever the woman is inherited, this man who has taken over the woman does not play his role as a man. But for her, when now the man died, she refused just because she never wanted to disturb her peace with her children.
Unlike Lodelle, Lucia Longole, a mother of 3, decided to get married again, aiming to grow her family. Instead of solely focusing on her existing children, she considered entering a new marriage to have more.
She was inherited, but unfortunately she was not able to produce children for that man. And she was left like that. Till now she has been like that.
But this did not go well after the man failed to take care of her.
It reaches a time that they ended up not treating her well, and she also accepted the situation just to go like that.
Veronica Nashuge married at 17 years and had 4 children. Following her husband's death, she was inherited by his stepbrother, who eventually became a nightmare in her life.
But she gave birth to 1 child from the second husband, and the children were 4 now. But because the man was not taking care of all these children, she had to chase this man.
Inheritance in Karamoja and Teso has long been a symbol of power and privilege. Elders like Kayo say the practice is to ensure that deceased children grow up with the clan.
These women produce very many children. Each woman. Now for you will keep eating in every family that you go. You keep eating, and then these children, when they grow up, they keep bringing animals from each family. One, it is just the fear of leaving them walk away, and also for their future protection.
Statistics on GBV are bleak, but the UN estimates that 1 in 4 women worldwide have been subjected to physical and or sexual by an intimate partner in their lifetime. Out of 10 women in Karamoja, 2 to 3 are widows who have been inherited by men not of their choice.
They seem to continue for continuity, but for us we have known that it is because of the heads of cattle, and that is why, of course, we don't know the status of that person in terms of HIV, in terms of hepatitis, and these other chronic illnesses. So at the end of the day, this woman is just told to enter, or this man is told to enter or to inherit this woman.
Activists say the Karamojong own women like property and cannot allow them to make independent decisions because of the dowry they pay.
It's like you buying a car. You want that car to perform all the tasks. Sometimes we have ended up comparing a woman and a donkey. You realize the donkey does quite a lot of work, and that is exactly how these people regard women within the community. And if we can try to avoid that, then automatically we will appreciate dowry, not just as dowry, but a token of appreciation.
There is need to build confidence and self-determination among the youth.
We have also formed the girls' movement, which movement actually issues amplify the voices of girls and young women in terms of their participation in decision making. And we have created what we call safe spaces for girls in the community, where women, girls and young women come together to reflect, to challenge those, to develop transformative approaches to interact with the boys, with the elders, with the men, in terms of transforming the cultural norms that undermine their rights.
Many societies treat victims of gender-based violence with contempt. They are perceived as weak. Some women are being considered guilty for attracting violence against themselves.
There should have been anything private about somebody being beaten. It should be escalated, it should be reported. So the culture of keeping quiet about issues that happen, that affect us, is another bad culture.
When you have, for example, you have the women that you have married and you have inherited some of them, these women produce very many children. And then these children, when they grow up, they keep bringing animals.
The 2022 Twaweza Uganda research shows that the girl child was more affected at a percentage rate of 64%. 6 groups show out of 10 citizens, only 2 boys were affected during the COVID-19 pandemic. 8 out of 10, representing 79%, say teenage pregnancy has become a bigger problem in communities. This was justified by the percentage of teenage pregnancy, which stood at 45, followed by 15% of marriages. Physical violence at 51%, emotional violence at 51%, and sexual violence at 46%. Government devotes 77 billion shillings annually in treating GBV-related eventualities that come out of rigid attitudes.
If I fought with you as my wife, there will be about 3-4 other people who will not work, who will be affected by our violence. Because tell me, what is that cannot be resolved by sitting down on a table and say, look here, I don't like that hair.
Major causes of GBV leaves the woman unable to defend herself.
Article, I think, 34 of the Constitution takes about that every person has a right to access basic education, which will be the responsibility of the parents and the state. So not taking somebody to school, you are trampling on that person's rights, and that's an abuse.
Though the information about GBV seems lean, the level of awareness continues to increase with the help of the media, civil society, and probation officers.
We want to reach out to the local government authorities, starting through the chiefs at the parish level because of PDM. Because as I said, one of the things, the ingredients of gender-based violence is poverty. Poverty is the worst form of violence. If we address poverty, we shall be contributing towards reducing gender-based violence. I'm not saying that the rich don't fight. They also fight for other reasons. But among the poor, it is worse.
There is no single factor that explains gender-based violence in our societies except for a myriad of factors that contribute to it. While GBV remains a universal plague for girls and women, collective efforts to help victims cannot be ignored. Mutonyi Hilda, UBC.
Uganda has joined the rest of the world to mark the 2023 Environmental Day. At Sri Shajanand School in Bukoto, the occasion was spiced up by community cleanup and tree planting.
Learners at Sri Shajanand School in Bukoto have sought time off Monday morning classes to mark World Environment Day.
It was fun because we all moved, we cleaned our school, we cleaned our compound, and it's good for the earth because plastics, they take long to decompose. Rubbish, it's like it causes bad smell around the community, so if we clean it, it will be better for our communities. It will make our communities clean.
It involved a community cleanup exercise highlighted by tree planting in the neighborhood, with schools like Bukoto Muslim Primary School and Unit for the Blind one of the beneficiaries.
We reached a neighboring school, and in conjunction with KCCA we planted some trees there, and with joint efforts from the other school as well. The reason why we're doing this today is to instill in the students the importance of environment. It's becoming a big concern not only in the Western world but also within where we are. We need to let the kids know that it's very important that we have a very clean, very conducive environment.
We are so grateful. It shows a good picture. It also helps our learners to improve, to know the importance of keeping the environment clean, of keeping the environment with some plants, because where there are plants, there is life.
And for those regions where it used to rain, it is flooding, and for those regions where it is really deserted, things are really getting hot. And I'm sure this initiative of tree planting is also extremely important, because Uganda is also one of the best, I would say, the eco-preserving country. And fortunate enough, we are on the equator and we have so many advantages of our location.
This year's theme was Beat Plastic Pollution, with targets on ecosystem restoration.
As a school, we are coming out strongly to say no to plastics and pollutants because they degrade the environment.
The United Nations Environment Programme proposed this day in 1972, with countries like Uganda embracing it fully.
UBC Lunchtime News. Now, over 150 people, mostly the elderly, today received free eye treatment from the North Indian Cultural Eye Screening. The North Indian Association of Uganda, in conjunction with High Commission of India, Kampala, have organized a free eye screening camp in Lugazi, where over 150 community people received the services. Majority of the beneficiaries were the elderly, who applauded the association for extending the service to them.
According to Dr. Anil Kumaria Dave, senior consultant, eye defects relate with age, malnutrition and environmental factors. This cause changes with the eye lenses.
Mostly we found cataract. Cataract is a gradually lens changes, which is caused age related and environmental factor cause the cataracts, and malnutrition also, and other diseases like conjunctivitis, and those all just cause infections.
Ujay Sharma, the Vice Chairperson, North Indian Cultural Association, attributes the rampant eye problems among Ugandans to poverty, which leads to many people struggling with eye defects in remote areas, unable to access medical care.
We decided to come here to organize this camp specifically, seeing that there are a lot of patients who cannot even afford to go to the hospitals and get the right treatment for their eyes. Many of them cannot even read properly, so we decided to come to this interior area of Lugaji and organizing this camp here.
The free eye treatment exercise attracted people from different age brackets. They received free eye checkups, treatment and spectacles, with praises to the association for the giving hand. Jitendra Singh Negi, the Indian High Commission to Uganda, commended Nika Uganda for making India proud through its generous programs to the people of Uganda.
Eye checkup, and this time they wanted us to be partner with them, and High Commission is very happy and very pleased to partner with Nika on this initiative. And here, when I came here, I thought it's a very in rural area of Uganda, and I'm sure local population, they will also appreciate the efforts of Nika, and we are happy and we are proud that Nika is doing this and High Commission is a partner in this.
Yes, we thank you so much for watching. Let's take a short break. On return, we have more.
Ebisera by'okuzzaayo abaana mu masomero tebiteekwa kukaluubiriza n'akatono. Eno kusimba nnyiriri mpanvu, kano kalippagano ka bidduka. Simanya kuzunga na banka siripsi. Kati osobola okusasula school fees z'omwana wo ate n'okola n'ebirala ntoko ku ssimu ye ey'omu ngalo. Ekikola kyangu nnyo. Nyiga bunyizi *165*8 ogoberera ebikulagiriddwa oba okozese app ya MTN Momo. Ate kati okola ki olwaleero? MTN Mobile Money Uganda Limited erungamizibwa banka enkulu ya Uganda.
This isn't just a girl. She is the future. This is a teacher, a doctor, a community leader, our future president. She is the hope of our community. And as a community leader, I will talk to others about how we must protect her against child marriage and teenage pregnancy because it affects us all. We each have a role to play in empowering our teenage girls to protect them from pregnancy. Because when we empower them, we empower our nation. Protect the girl, save the nation.
Take action. Report any case of defilement or child marriage to the police or call Sawuti 116.
Glow as you are with the new Spark 10 series smartphone from Airtel in partnership with Tecno. Own the timelines with picture-perfect selfies using the 32-megapixel selfie camera, 256GB storage, G88 gaming processor.
The Spark 10 smartphone comes with free 3GB from Airtel, so you can stay connected to a world of possibilities. Dial *100*5# to enjoy free data.
Airtel, a reason to imagine.
In partnership with Tecno. Stop at nothing.
Uganda is rich in natural resources and hard-working people. But to turn these resources into real progress and development, we need to invest in our infrastructure, education, and healthcare. That's where taxes come in. When we pay our taxes, we are investing in our country's future. We are supporting the schools that educate our children, the hospitals that care for our families, and the roads and bridges that connect our communities. And when businesses pay their taxes, they are contributing to the growth and development of Uganda's economy. They are helping to build a stronger, more prosperous nation for us all. So when you pay your taxes, you are investing in the future of Uganda and supporting the progress and development of our nation. Uganda is because of you.
Uganda Revenue Authority, developing Uganda together.
Yokato, this is a quick call. I'm almost out of minutes. Now, the center.
Why rush through such important conversations? Airtel Uganda has made it possible for you to call across all networks in Uganda at the best rates with the new Bona voice bundles. Stay connected anytime, anywhere, with minutes valid for calls on all networks. Dial star 100 star 1 hash. Select voice bundles and select Bona voice bundles today.
Airtel, a reason to imagine.
We thank you so much for watching. Now, Nakawa East Member of Parliament, Ronald Balimwezo, has appealed to government to provide enough garbage trucks to help in management of garbage, as well as increased diseases related to poor hygiene in the capital, Kampala. Balimwezo said this while donating garbage trucks to residents of Nakawa East, a function held at Chitintale, Nakawa, Kampala district.
These are community-based value addition.
80% of the diseases that are affecting our people are from poor sanitation. And garbage management is very critical in any urban center. KCCA can only collect 50% of the generated garbage, and therefore the rest stays in the community. It goes to Lake Victoria and contaminates the lake. That's the reason that even as we speak now, Lake Victoria has maggots. So how can we best work out ways of making sure that we reduce contamination into our lake is by making sure that we correct almost 95% of the garbage that we generate. And this is the reason that we have purchased this garbage truck so that we can handle the garbage. Oftentimes when it rains, because people dump garbage and blocks the drainage facilities, and eventually we get flooding.
Kasasira kumanyizibwa mu Nakawa East ayanguyirwa omulimo gwanguwa wabule tugatta ku bimotoka kitegeeza nti kasasira ava mu bantu.
That Honorable Balimwezo, you've tremendously done your job, and I know Nakawa East people are appreciative of your services.
One of the biggest problems that afflict Kampala and Nakawa not spared is the problem of garbage. Garbage is a very big thorn in our flesh.
These are community-based value addition.
Yes, that was in Nakawa. Now, police in Moroto is holding 6 trucks which were carrying charcoal, and this follows a presidential directive on banning charcoal in northern and northeastern Uganda. The trucks were arrested in Moroto and Nakapiripit districts, as Moroto police spokesperson Micheal explains.
The owners of that on the operation against charcoal banning, we have so far impounded in Moroto here 6 trucks of charcoal. They are in our yard there, and of course we shall charge the owners of that of the charcoal with the charge which you can prefer from the NEMA. Yeah, we are following the presidential directive because it's the one who brought this.
The deputy head of Sudan's ruling council, Malik Agar, has welcomed negotiations for a further ceasefire, but said no truce can hold until all forces are withdrawn from the capital. There has been an alarming escalation of violence in Khartoum and in the western Darfur region since the negotiations in Saudi Arabia broke down last week. Both the army and the rival paramilitary force, the Rapid Support Forces, accused each other of violation of the truce, but negotiators have remained in Jeddah. Agar said the talks there represented the best hope of ending the fighting. Sudanese military leader General Abdel Fattah al-Burhan recently appointed Agar, a former rebel leader, to replace his former Deputy General Mohammed Hamdan Dagalo, also known as Hamidati, who heads the RSF.
The army suspended talks with its paramilitary rival on Wednesday, a Sudanese diplomatic source said, raising fears of fresh bloodshed in the more than 6-week-old conflict. Ceasefire by 5 days. But residents in the capital Khartoum and its sister city Omdurman reported heavy clashes until late on Tuesday. Army Chief General Abdel Fattah al-Burhan and the RSF's General Mohammed Hamdan Dagalo have been locked in a bloody power battle since April 15th. Neither side seems to have the edge. Violence has been focused on the capital region, but also erupted in other areas, including Darfur in the west.
Now, in the world of sport, after 2 grueling days at Kalanoga Resort, top-notch stars met again in the 2-day National Beach Volleyball Tour that enrolled 12 women's teams and 6 men teams. Last year's top seeds of Matthew Mwenyi and Daudi Okello reaffirmed their intention to dominate the men's category after overcoming a hard-fighting duo of Samuel Engwau Lewis and Ojangole Joseph in an exciting tie-break final of 2-1, 18-21, 21-15, 15-12. In the women's category, last season's seed 2 Peace Businje, pairing with Catherine Ainembabazi, beat Eunice Amuron and Margaret Namialo 2 sets to 1, 23-21, 15-21, 15-8. Businje and Ainembabazi were runners-up 2 weeks ago after losing to Nancy Chebet Sombey and Namara Habiba, whom they avenged this time round in the semi-finals. The president, Uganda Volleyball Federation Sadiq Nasiru, graced the games and presided over the medal awarding ceremonies. The next event at Kalanoga Resort will be on the 24th and 25th of June. That is all we had for you this afternoon. Thank you so much for watching. The week begins today and we are at Workers Newsroom. Let's get back to you at 6, 7 and 8 p.m. with news tonight. My name is Micheal Lukomwa. Enjoy the week and the day. Bye-bye.